will they get the job done? More than likely. So I'm gonna go Ohio State beating Notre Dame, even though it hurts me saying that about my own Indiana team, but let's be real. Can't bet against Ohio State. Just can't do it. So, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. I think I'll take your opposite bet. I'll take Notre Dame just because you take Ohio State. I
Ten
don't watch
bucks?
it much, but
Think they got it locked, well, I think I got it picked. 24/7, all I ever drop is hits. Never clocking out, I'm forever on my shift. I'ma fall till I fall, till they put me in my crib. They think they got it locked, well, I think I got it picked. 24/7, all I ever drop is hits. Never clocking out, I'm forever on my shift. I'ma ball till I fall, till they put me in.
what's up, everybody? Zach and Steven here, All Impact No Filter podcast. We're back with another episode. Football. It's coming to a close so fast, dude. It's coming fast. Wild card weekend is over. Some crazy matchups happened. Some stuff I did not expect happened. Some games that were hard to watch. Really, most of them I feel like were blowouts, all except for one game. But yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna look at some news that's going on around the league right now. There's a lot of big news. Teams hiring people, firing people, picking up players, dropping players. And then we'll get in deeper into what happened on wild card weekend and all the matchups that happened. And then we'll preview this divisional round, couple games. It's coming down to the final wire right before the conference rounds, and then college football. Lastly, we're going to go over some college football. We got one more game left down to our home states right here, Indiana and Ohio. We're from Indiana. This is about to be the banger of them all. Notre Dame versus Ohio State
It
Buckeyes.
is the first time and only time I
Yeah.
root for Notre Dame. Because
Yeah.
I'm a Bloomington fan, and but I would like to see Notre Dame win this. But against Ohio State,
It's going to
you
be a good game.
never bet against Ohio State because you always just saying.
Hey, they ruined my parlay because I had Texas winning the whole thing and they beat Texas and screwed me. So,
Ohio State seems to have that Kansas City magic on their side every single year.
yeah,
Like once you think that they're about to get beat or like, just fall off, somehow they find a way to step it up. Some way they find a way to get that win, even though they're riddled with injuries or they don't have that good recruits on their team.
they find a
They
way.
still find a way. And
Yeah.
that right there just shows you that it's nothing. It's not just the players. The players are good, but the coaching staff, the management in that
It all
facility,
came together.
they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They'll
So
turn they'll turn a bronze player into a superstar just like that
you can
in a
tell what
break.
Steven's excited to talk about. So we'll get into some college football and then we'll get into our picks on what we think is going to happen, not only in college football, but in the divisional round this week. So, the news this week, there's a lot going on. Start with some coaches, dude. There's a lot of coaches. I don't know if you went through and looked at all the coaches,
Yeah, I
the
got see.
changes.
There's the Bears. You got the Jets who fired their head coach within like 5 games of the season. You
Yeah.
got Raiders, which I thought they were going to keep the Raiders head coach to be honest with you, but they
No.
they only won what like 2 games this year. I
Horrible.
mean, yeah, they got the first round pick, cool, but
What are you
they're
gonna
not in
do
the
with it?
playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need a quarterback. The Raiders
Really
need a
bad.
quarterback
Really
really
bad.
really
Yeah.
bad. I got the Jags. I mean, they fired their head coach towards the end of the season. And the Saints, man, like the Saints are hurting for a head coach too.
Yeah.
Like it's
So
crazy.
as of today, so there's some stuff that ESPN posted. This is Tuesday, the 14th. So it's today the 14th.
It's the 13th, I
Today's the 14th. Okay, so this will come out the 15th tomorrow. So
think.
as of today, there's some news out. Mike Tomlin with the Steelers. They're asking about his position and if he feels secure where he's at. I guess TJ Watt went and said that he demands that the franchise take a look at themselves in 2025. Um, they take a hard look at themselves in 2025, and all the fingers are getting pointed to the front part of not the players, you know, I mean, more of the coaches, the front part of the team. And he said he has no response. He said they've struggled, but he likes to struggle and he likes to fight, and he don't want nothing easy. So he's more than willing to continue to try. There's nothing saying he's leaving yet, but just with they're wondering what's going to happen, and people are kind of wondering if he's going to be one of the changes they make, which would be crazy
Uh,
because he just signed a deal uh before the beginning of this season. I think he said he signed like a 3-year contract at the beginning of this past season
with the Steelers.
with the Steelers. Yeah. So I don't know.
Um,
I don't know.
See, if he just signed a 3-year contract last year,
Yeah.
and they fire and they for some reason fire him this year, they made the playoffs. That's all the best the Steelers can do right now is try and make a playoff.
Well, it said they made the playoffs 4 times in his first 6 seasons or something
Right.
since
And
2007, and then they've made
hey,
it once or twice since.
you're still hard. Um,
He
well,
started off great in his career, and it's just slowly started to decline since then. And
but I
again,
mean,
this is
look at the
nothing saying that
players.
he is going to be getting fired or they are will part ways or any situation. This is just something that a reporter asked him how he felt about his position, if he felt secure, and he said he had no response. So he didn't give us
Man,
much to work with.
Mike Tomlin is needed there in Pittsburgh.
I mean, he's
Put it
known
that way.
for being the nose headed or hard headed,
I
nose
mean,
forward
he's
Steelers type of coach.
yeah. He has no emotion. He's straightforward. He'll tell you what's up. He don't give a
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, that's what people like about Mike Tomlin is
Yeah.
because
Exactly.
he's I don't give a fuck person. Like
Yeah.
it's football. You're supposed to not give a fuck. You're
Yeah.
supposed to care about one thing:
A lot of questions,
get to the Super Bowl and win
but
that bitch.
they definitely need to do something. I mean, they're like a team that could be really good if they could just make a couple changes. Uh, you said you brought up the Bears and the Saints. Both of them are scheduled to interview Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys ex head coach, um, tomorrow, which would be today when everyone watches this Wednesday. So both of those teams are scheduled to interview him tomorrow. What do you think about that?
I never really cared for Mike McCarthy. To tell you, just he's not really a great coach.
Where do you think he'd more likely to go?
Honestly, he's a better fit for the Bears,
Bears think so.
just because I don't see the Bears going anywhere in the next 5 seasons,
They just
next
need to
10 seasons.
completely rebuild.
Well, if they get Mike McCarthy, let me tell you what they need to do. They have a good draft pick this year going into the draft, like top 10, I would say. I don't know if it's top five, but at least top 10 pick. What they need is one, not a quarterback, not a receiver. They need to work on their freaking defense.
It's true.
And there's a lot of good defensive players going into the draft this year.
Yeah.
So Mike McCarthy needs to look at that.
Yeah, because I mean their offense really ain't that bad. Like at times they
Their
can put
offense
up
is great.
points. Yeah, they can put up points in
They
game
do
two.
need to focus on their offensive tackles. They do need to focus there. I mean, every team needs to focus on their offensive
Yeah.
tackles.
You not everyone can
But
have 5 fucking 6'7", 350
right,
pound dudes like
not
Eagles
every
and
offensive line is
yeah,
solid.
yeah,
But they need to look at their defense. They need to look and see where the weaknesses are on the defense and draft players there. You got yourself a quarterback, you got yourself a receiver, you got yourself a good fucking running back.
yeah, Swift.
Just work on your
Keenan
defense.
Allen, man. I mean, they got some good players.
No, well, yeah, Keenan Allen's starting to get up there in age. He's probably got one more
He's
season
still
in him, and then
dynamic though, dude. Like, yes,
I
he'll
mean,
go two or
so is
three
Mike Evans,
weeks. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
and
They
he's
may
up
go a
there.
couple weeks without putting up points, but when they do, they'll put up points, dude. They'll put up
Yeah.
yards. Like, they'll still do it.
Uh,
Um, let's
So
see.
let's talk about Dallas real quick. You know what I'm
Dallas.
getting ready. You know what I'm getting ready to talk about, right?
I didn't have nothing on Dallas. What you got?
So Dallas is looking for another coach this year because of Mike McCarthy being fired or let go or whatever.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders.
Oh, okay. I did hear about this. Yeah, yeah.
Deion Sanders is a big talk right now about being the head coach there.
Are they interviewing him?
And I mean, I'm going to say so. Don't quote me on it, but I am going to say yes. They probably do have an interview set up sometime, or they have already done an interview. But if that happens, I think so. His two boys play in Colorado with him right now,
Yeah.
or they did whatever.
Yeah.
And I think Shadur Sanders, who is the quarterback, I think he's got one more season to play in college before he can enter the draft. And I think his other boy, I can't remember what his name is, but I think he plays defensive back. I think
Yeah, we were talking about this on the last
right,
one. I remember.
and I think he's got a couple more seasons left to go in college as well. So if Deion Sanders becomes head coach in Dallas, what's your thought? What
Where's
could
his kids
happen there?
going? Yeah, who's
Where's
he
his
going to
kids
try to
going?
draft? Yeah, what kind of player does he need?
I
I
mean,
mean,
they do need a quarterback,
yeah, I
and
was
they
about to
do
say,
need a
yeah,
defensive back.
yeah, you ain't wrong.
But will Roger Goodell let that happen?
Um,
That's the question.
yeah, Raiders. You said about the Raiders too. Raiders are doing interviews for their general manager's position. I think it said they're interviewing someone from the Bucks assistant GM position, and I forget the other team's player personnel assistant coach or something like that. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're needing a GM. Tommy Reese is promoted to the offensive coordinator of the Browns, so he's moving up in their rankings. Colts, this is one Colts scheduled to interview Wink Martindale today, so Wednesday tomorrow, for their
For
defensive coordinator position.
sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool, cool. We need that. We need that.
Yep. Who else we got? We got the Jags to interview Jets ex head coach Robert for the vacant head coach position. Jags trying to find themselves a head coach. Talked about the Raiders. Pats got Mike Vrabel as their head coach.
Let's go,
That
Braves.
happened.
Let's go.
He
Vrabel.
he said today that Josh McDaniels is on a long list of candidates for their offensive coordinator position. So Mike Vrabel's over there trying to work with that team, trying to rebuild that Pats position. They again another team that didn't look very good this year. They had a couple upsets. I mean, they got a couple of teams. They didn't lose them all, but they still didn't look great all year. Completely
And
rebuilding that team with a rookie
they couldn't
quarterback
have
and
picked a better person for their head coaching position.
yep, legend
Like
OG on the team
Mike
coming
Vrabel
back.
did so good there in Tennessee. When he got fired, dude, it kind of irritated me because he did not deserve to get fired like that. So I'm so glad that he's coming back and staying in the AFC.
Yeah.
So let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Let's see what else do we got here. Jets to interview Commanders defensive coordinator Joe Ritt Jr. for head coach position. Jets trying to find themselves a head coach, as we just mentioned that the Jags are interviewing their ex head coach. So dude, there's a lot of head coaches jumping around this year. Like there was quite a few last year, a couple that was kind of weird with like Bill Belichick moving the past couple years. You know what I mean? Like there's been a
Have you heard
bunch of
about him? He's going
possibly
to
coming
college.
college. Oh, that's what it was. Something.
He's going
Yeah.
to go coach North Carolina.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
And who else moved? Oh, uh to the Saints. Sean Payton went to the Saints. Uh What's his name? Who's at the Saints? Or no, Broncos, right?
Yeah, Sean Payton's been with the Broncos. Yeah, he
Broncos.
was with the Broncos this year.
Yeah,
Let's say,
that's what
wait,
I was
what? He's going
thinking.
back to
So
the Saints?
who's at the Saints now?
I can't remember what his name was. I think it was like an interim head
Someone
coach at
moved
the
up.
time.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, he went from the Saints to the Broncos. Uh who else moved last year? There was someone else that moved last year, another coach. I don't know. There's a couple of them, but now this year it's like everybody's playing musical
Yeah,
chairs. Literally,
yeah.
it's just
And they could
everyone's
change the
jumping
game.
around. Yeah, it really
Different
can because
teams,
you're
different
mixing up
teams. Yeah.
different offensive coordinators with defensive
Uh-huh.
coordinators and
And, the other team you'd be watching out for. I mean, yeah, they're in the playoffs and they're doing great this year. But the Lions, like uh their head coach is getting ready to lose his entire like staff.
staff. Yeah,
Like, because the defensive coach has got, I think, a head coaching interview and stuff, and then
it's
with the
more
offensive
money,
coach. Oh yeah,
more
more money
money.
coming in.
They'll
Oh
take
yeah,
it.
so he's
So
going to
yeah,
need to find himself a different staff next year.
not only with the draft and the new players coming in, it'll be really interesting to see this next year what happens with all these
Uh-huh.
coaches positions.
Yeah.
Um, a couple pickups and drops that I thought were interesting. The Texans released wide receiver Deontay Johnson after just 2 games. So even though they won and they're moving on, they asked head coach what his thoughts were. He said we're just wasn't a good fit. We want to move on, and we got the next team. We got the Chiefs to worry about. So he didn't really have a comment on it. But yeah, after just 2 games, he began the 2024 season with as a trade addition for Carolina. Played with Carolina for a couple games, did pretty well. Then he got traded to Baltimore,
Uh-huh.
for, where he was expected to be a vet on the team to help some rookie wide receivers. Well, that turned into one pass over a 4 game span, had one completion, and then refused to play in the week 13.
I mean, give the guy some credit. You got traded to a team that is a running quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
but that was also your second team of the year. You were just with Carolina. You left that team and then you refused to play with Baltimore. So then you go to Texans, don't work out with Texans, you know what I mean? And now you're on free waiver. So
you might as well just call it a career dog because
what's he doing? Yeah.
he went through
Um,
3 teams in one season.
who else do I got? I got oh yeah, Eagles signed wide receiver Paris Campbell. They signed a couple more. I think that's just like a safety slot. I mean, he's a decent receiver. That's just a safety slot receiver, just in case someone gets hurt and they're moving on in the playoffs. So I understand that. That's a nice little key pickup. A lot of injuries though. Who was it? T.J. Hawkinson. I'm pretty sure is who it was. Chest pain. Went to the hospital, coughing up blood yesterday.
During
Uh,
the game,
no, after the game, I guess. And that, but
beat him that
said
bad,
that he
huh?
was released from the hospital same night. Nothing wrong with him. He was able to fly home with the team. He's okay.
Well, that's good. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
he'll be
good for
playing.
them.
David Montgomery, full participant.
Okay.
He should
Oh,
be
cool,
playing. He
cool,
should be
cool.
good.
Lions need him.
Yeah, yeah. That's the news that we got. Let's look at the games. Wild card weekend. I said it earlier. In my opinion, I think these got games this weekend weren't the best. They were all kind of blowout games, all
They're
except for
boring.
one. The one game that broke my heart was Tampa Bay and Washington. That was a great game. I mean, it was back and forth and back. It was so close. It came down to a field goal. Every other game was 9, 10, or more points of a gap. This was the only one that came down to 3 points. It was a last minute field goal. Couple of key drops, bad plays that happen. But let's start off with the Chargers and Texans. What would you think about the Chargers and Texans? Texans beating the Chargers 32 to
So
12, moving on.
let me just say this. Okay. I'm not a Houston's fan, obviously. I'm a Colts fan, but I got a big heart for the AFC South. So I got to root for my AFC South boys, and I got to go Houston. And I went Houston. I would love to see Houston win this all, to be honest. Houston beating the Chargers 32-12. Actually, not thought of because we all know how they played this year.
Yeah, they didn't. And even in this game, like looking at the stats here. So, first of all, before we talk about Texans winning, Justin Herbert, dude,
Four
horrible game.
interceptions.
Yeah,
Four.
14 for 32, less than a 50% pass rate. He did get one touchdown, but threw four touchdowns, man. And that one touchdown was their only touchdown. Yeah, to Lad McConkey.
And, yeah, and Ladd McConkey, hey, 9 catches for 197 yards and a touchdown.
I mean, yeah, that's literally if you
That's
look at
crazy.
anybody else, no one
That's
else on their
nuts.
team, no, literally no other team on their player on their team had no other player on their team had more than 2 catches for 20 yards.
Right.
No.
McConkey is just he was a good rookie this year. He
Yeah, he
uh
was for sure.
he even broke the Chargers rookie record in receiving and receptions this
Yeah.
year too. So that's pretty wild.
On the other hand, CJ Stroud looked a lot better. Still not as much activity touchdown wise.
Man,
Even
I
for
wasted
scoring 32 points, he went 22 for 33, 282 yards, one touchdown, and one interception.
I
So
wasted
definitely a
a
lot
third round
better.
pick on this song on the draft. He was my third round pick this year, and he kind of did trash this
Oh,
entire year.
CJ Stroud.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. And then you got Joe Mixon, ran in 106 yards, broke 100 yards again this year with another tutty. And Nico Collins receiving in
Nico.
CJ Stroud's lonely touchdown.
Hey, even though he pulled his hammy there about week 5 or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
he still came out and put up some numbers,
He's had
and
a
that's
hell of a
crazy.
year. Yeah.
That's yeah,
122
like
yards that game.
he just needs to keep that hamstring strong, man. Like
Yep.
he's had problems with that hamstring for a couple of years now. Just
Staying
not
healthy is
sure.
a big part of this.
Right.
What's next? What's next? Steelers and Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Steelers and Pittsburgh. Ravens and
Steelers and Ravens.
Steelers. Yeah. 28-14 Baltimore Ravens. The Steelers are out. They're out.
And then again, like Mike Tomlin, like he needs to stay there.
I mean, I
Excuse
can
me.
see
And
it.
if he
I can
doesn't,
see
and
it.
if he doesn't, that that doesn't only cost the Steelers money because they have to pay him for 3 years, technically. I mean,
Yeah.
he signed a contract.
Yeah. So they'd have to
So
negotiate something.
exactly.
I
And that's
think
gonna
one of
cost
the
a lot of money.
I think one of their problems, and I mean, looking at his stats right here, it's hard for me to support my claim, I guess. But Russell Wilson, man, I just don't think he's the answer. I mean, this game he went 20 for 29, very good passing average, 270 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, you can't ask for much better than that. Those are solid numbers for Russell Wilson in this game, though. I mean, I think it's just Baltimore was the better team, honestly.
And he's a Super Bowl champion, dude.
Yeah,
So he should know how to get to the Super Bowl.
you need that extra drive. But yeah, he had a
And
George
ever
Pickens
since
and Van Jefferson both for TDs.
ever since he left Seattle, dude, it's just been downhill. Like he just can't get back to it.
Yeah, but I mean, see, even just comparing his stats to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson went 16 for 21, 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like, but
Uh-huh.
the difference maker, dude. Let's talk about the difference maker. Derrick Henry, 26
Yeah.
carries, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's the difference maker. That's how you win football games is running the ball,
Yeah. Yeah.
putting up points.
Get them yardage. And that's the easiest way to get yardage is by running it.
Yeah, I mean that's old school football right there. And when you got someone like Derrick Henry that can take off to the right and pull 15 people, I'm just kidding. There's not even 15 people on the field, but you know what I mean? Like pull the whole pack towards him because everyone's trying to tackle him. And you got Lamar Jackson running off to the left with the ball. You know what I mean? Like that dual dynamic of just trying to who's you're so like you almost like stutter, like you don't know, like when they hand that ball off, you're like, who like just then that gives them just that much enough of time for Derek to get enough speed to where before you have time to think about it, he's got you laid on your ass on the ground. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
normal old Derrick Henry. Yeah, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, moving on to the divisional round. Let's see, who else did we have? Sunday, Buffalo and Broncos. What'd you think about that game? Bo Nix. I know everyone was excited about Bo Nix seeing what he'd do.
I had my high hopes on Bo Nix in the playoffs, but he is a rookie. He is going against
Dog.
a dog. Yeah. Like Josh Allen knows where to put the ball. He knows how to he knows how to run you over when he has to, and he will too. It's hard to beat the Bills. When Josh Allen gets in that playoff mode, it's don't even try and vote against the Bills because Josh Allen's going to find a way to get his team to the
Yeah,
next level.
I will say that to Broncos defense, they started the game how you have to start the game against a team like Buffalo. First drive, they go down there. Bo Nix bombs that thing right into Franklin's arms in the end zone. Start out 7-0. I mean, you've got to start off
And that
fast
was
with the
it.
team. Yeah, and they did. Yeah, but
And
that
that was
was
it.
it, literally. Yeah. So then after that, it was just a master class from Buffalo. Those are literally the only stats. I mean,
You want to know why that was it? Because Bo Nix pissed off Josh Allen by scoring that touchdown.
yeah.
You don't
I
go.
mean,
You don't go in there and wait. Were they in Buffalo or were they in Denver?
oh yeah, they were in Bills Mafia. They were in
Oh yeah, you
Bills.
don't go into Buffalo
Yeah.
and throw a bomb in Josh Allen's freaking stadium because Josh Allen will just come at you like a dog and beat you down, and that's what happened right there.
Yep. Josh Allen went 20 for 26, 272 yards, two touchdowns, hitting Curtis Samuel and Ty Johnson. And dude, like he was good throughout the year, but I want to talk about him now because his activity, he did not score, but Khalil Shakir, dude, every time he got that ball, someone would touch him and he's getting 2, 3, 4 yards after contact every time they threw him the ball. It was like he's just spinning, jumping,
Uh-huh.
twisting. I mean, them dudes, them receivers on that team, Curtis Samuel, Dalton Kincaid. I mean, all of them dudes just know
And
how to
see,
move.
and yeah, like I don't even know why we're giving Josh Allen all the praise here. Like their receiving core is badass.
James Cook.
Their
Yeah.
their running back is mean. Their
Yeah.
defense obviously tough because Denver only put up 7 points against them. They are playoff run ready.
Oh yeah.
So they are going to be ready against the Ravens next week.
Yeah, they are.
And that game right there, I want to talk about later, but
I'm so
that game right
excited.
there is
Just
going to
talking
be a
about that game is getting me excited.
record breaking game right there.
Oh yeah,
Like
because
it's
it's going to be head to head.
yes, and then
Josh and Lamar,
whoever
dude.
and then if we could see the Bills and like Texans or the Bills and Chiefs, I'm down for this playoff season to end the way it's going to end.
Oh
It's going
yeah,
to be a
it's
good
fixing to be a
season.
good one.
Yes.
Yeah, James Cook went 23 carries, 120 yards, and another touchdown. Yeah, like you said, Buffalo's defense was just on point. Uh,
Uh-huh.
shutting, literally shutting down Broncos. Other than that very
Easily.
first drive. After that, we got Philly and Packers. This was my team right here. I was locked in on
Thank
this
God.
game, and there is one stat I am so excited to talk about. But let's talk about the losing team first. 22-10, Philadelphia. What'd you think? Did you watch this game?
Well, first off, no. Why? Because of the Packers. I don't ever watch any games against with the Packers in it. So and for one, I already knew the Eagles were going to win because the Packers really, they had a great season. I gotta give them that. They deserve to be in the playoffs. But so I'm glad the Eagles took care of that for me and got them out in the first round.
I was pretty excited about this game. I had to watch it just because Dallas Goddard, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley. I mean, dude,
So
this team is just stacked with
mm-hmm.
freaking talent, dude.
Bills and
Before,
Philly, I'm calling it.
yeah, I'm down to
Super
I'm down to
Bowl.
see that. But before we talk
Bills and
about
Philly in Super Bowl.
before we talk about how dominant the Eagles were, let's talk about how horrible
uh,
Jordan Love and the Packers looked. Jordan Love went 20 for 33, a big goose egg on the touchdowns, and went 3 interceptions. The only touchdown for the team was Josh Jacobs running touchdown, which I will give him credit. The play before it to get there. I mean, dude, he pushed through like 7 people and then had 2 or 3 people still on top of him, kept pushing them legs from like the 7 yard line, pushed all the way. He went in the end zone, but his knee hit on the half-inch yard line uh before he crossed the plane. So next play, turned around, punched it right in there, got them their only touchdown of the game. Not much else. Literally not much else went for the Packers.
yeah.
Philly, on the other hand, Jalen Hurts, my dude, 13 for 21, 131 yards, 2 tutties. Saquon, relatively quiet, still breaking 100 yards, 25 carries, 119 yards, 0 touchdowns. Jalen still getting 36 yards on the feet as well. Keeping Kenneth Gainwell in there a little bit, mixing him in. Big Devontae Smith, dude, 55 yards, no touchdowns, but Jahan Dotson with a tutty, one
Uh-huh.
reception, 11 yards. And Dallas Goddard, dude, please tell me you've watched the clip of Dallas Goddard stiff arming this dude twice into the end zone.
I can't say I have.
Okay, we'll make sure you watch it. I may even get a little piece of the clip just of this
Right, clip it in there.
yeah, like a screenshot just of the way he's so after the game he said yeah, after the first one he said I mean he was probably on the 5 6 7 yard line.
Well, hang
Got
on,
him.
man. Let me look her up real quick.
Yeah, go ahead and get you a clip of
I'm
it.
on, I'm on
After the
YouTube
game
right now.
he said yeah, I slowed down after the first time so he could get some more because he stiff armed him. He tried again. He was like, so I figured I'd slow my pace a little bit. And I mean, dude, never even let the arm go, just double pump that stiff arm, ran right in there. You want to talk about a dominant team while you're looking that up? I'll go off and talk about Philly
Yeah,
for a
go ahead.
minute. A dominant team right now is a team like Philadelphia Eagles. They've started this new thing with the brotherly shove, dude. I mean, they're not scared of a fourth down. You get them in a 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 4th and 3, they're going for it. I mean, it's like that the mentality that the Lions have picked up. You know what I mean? You see them going for that same mentality. Like, we don't have 3 downs to get a first down. We have 4 downs to get a first down.
Just get
And
off me. Get
yeah, oh,
off
you
me.
watching it? Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, great clip. But yeah, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goddard, Jahan Dotson, AJ Smith, Saquon Barkley. Dude, like this team is stacked. Like, and then Blankenship, man, laying people out. I mean, them hits they're dropping are nasty. Like, you got Quayon Mitchell with an interception, Zach Bond with an interception, Slade Jr. with an interception. I mean, these dudes are literally laying people out. And some of the hits, these boys were playing ball. Like, there's a difference between like regular season hits and playoff season hits. Like, someone some of these players know that there's like an extra drive to kick into when you're in the playoffs. Like you're hitting it and you're giving it the gas during the regular season, but there's like a whole different mentality when you're in the playoffs. And some of these dudes were just slamming into other players. I mean, just making sure they get that contact. And that being said, the very first play of the game, that's another clip for you to look at, Steven. The very first play of the game tells you how dominant the Philadelphia Eagles are. The kickoff. Philadelphia Eagles kick the ball off. They go out of the end zone, get the ball. He gets about 15 yards in, contact, knocks the ball right out, picks up the fumble, Philadelphia's ball right off. I mean, you want to talk about momentum. That's how you set momentum for your team. You go out there, kick the ball off, let them have ball first, and don't even give them a chance to get their quarterback on the field. Hit them so hard they fumble it. Guess what? It's your ball, or you're already in the red zone. I mean,
Here, I got it.
this is going to be such good games coming up. I'm so excited. Oh, you're looking at that hit.
Yeah, here, yeah. This is it right here. Kickoff, Packers.
Clean kick.
Damn.
Boom. And the dude has
He said, "Here, eat my helmet, bitch."
yeah, and he has no running start either. If you watch that, he has no running start.
That ball's out.
He's literally being guarded by another player. The returner is running at him at his own speed. All he does is move away from the guard that's blocking him, stands his ground, and lays that dude out, knocks the ball free, picks it up.
Ooh,
Eagles are going to be a team, dude. That's the team to
yeah,
beat.
that was scary.
But yeah, that's my team to watch right now. Eagles, I mean, dude, the Bills, I mean, Ravens, these teams are going to be crazy to watch. But let's get into Washington and Bucks. Did you watch this game at all? 23-20. This is a game that was breaking my heart, man. This was the
Actually, no. I
closest
mean,
game of the week.
I missed this one. I was too busy gaming myself.
So,
Too busy doing Madden.
Commanders and Washington. Why do I keep doing that? Washington Commanders and Tampa Bay Bucks. It was a close game, dude. Just back and
I
forth
do
and
feel
back and
bad.
forth.
I do feel bad seeing Baker out of it because as much stuff he's been through, I believe he deserves a better run than just a wild card run.
And it all came down, dude, in my opinion. So play by play, the Bucks are up by 3. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders got the ball in the red zone. They stopped them on 4th down. Bucks stop Washington on 4th down, turn the ball over. This Bucks get the ball, start driving the ball down the field a little bit. Baker Mayfield muffs the fake handoff, dude. Just tips the shoulder or the elbow of Bucky's arm when he's running by, fumbles the ball. They pick it up. Turn around. Jaden Daniels throws a touchdown, dude. Like, I feel like that was the turning point of the game. You were already up 3. You drive the ball down the field. You score. You know what I mean? Like, if you score right there, and then even if they do go back and score again, you're still up 3. You know what I mean? Like, that touchdown put them up 4. Yeah, like it was just, or up 3, yeah, or tied it. It tied it instead of, yeah, they were up a whole touchdown. That's what it was.
It's hard to win in the NFL. That's all
Dude,
I
it
can
is one play, which the Bucks still had a chance. They still got the ball back, still plenty of time. They still got down the field. They still put up their field goal. They tied the game 20-20, but they gave just enough time left for Washington to go down the field and put up a field goal of their own. And do you know how that field goal went? Doink. Right off the right upright, right through the middle, dude. And yeah, sealed Washington's fate into the playoffs, moving on to another round. Jaden Daniels, man, is a rookie, dude. 24 for 35, 268 yards and 2 tutties.
Plus
Looking pretty
36
good.
rushing yards too.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Scary
So
Terry. Big old scary Terry putting up some yards, man. 7 receptions, 89 yards and a tutty.
it's about time he wakes up. Like throughout the season, he wasn't doing a whole lot.
No, man, but that's what I was noticing too. Like playoff foot playoff football, the vets, I feel like step all the people that you see, I don't want to say all, majority of the people that you see and step up, make the big plays this weekend. There were a couple of rookies, but the big plays are stepped up when done by big players, like those veteran players like Terry McLaurin that knows like this is playoff football. This is
Uh-huh.
real. Like I've been playing in the football for however many seasons. This is why I've been playing to get to this point. You have to play at a different level than you do during the regular season. And that's something that I feel like all these rookies are, if they don't already know, they're learning really quick, especially these ones on the team like Washington that are continuing to move forward and like this is real. Like, and then some of them we've seen it with the Chiefs, man. I mean, that can make you or break you. Some of these wide receivers, you can win the Super Bowl and go on to be a great wide receiver. Some of them can win the Super Bowl and end up in some bad situations with all that money and fame. So it's a
Uh-huh.
great opportunity they are putting themselves in. So it's just however they make it. Home is where you make it. Not like to see homos naked. Uh
You like to see homos naked. What?
uh Baker Mayfield though, not bad. 15 for 18. I mean, good completion rate, 185 yards, touchdowns. It was a close game, dude. So close. Such a great team. Like Mike Evans, man, one of the greatest receivers to do it, in my opinion. Just a
You
dog.
think you think he'll call it quits at the end of the season, or you think he'll stay, or think he'll go, or what?
I think he'll stay. I don't see him going nowhere. I think they did pretty well this year to where I think it's worth for him to. Well, I'd say maybe if in
I
my
mean,
opinion,
he is.
if I'm in his shoes and I've been in his shoes and I've played with the likes of Tom Brady and before Tom Brady, after Tom, you know, I mean Baker Mayfield, like you've played with all these different quarterbacks and you are up there in a little bit of, you know, what I mean, not sure if you want to keep playing or not. You have a great rhythm with Baker fit right now, like
Uh-huh.
him and Baker vibe. So Baker stays, yeah, I could see him wanting to vibe again for another year. It's nothing new. It's the same thing they were doing this year. They did. He had a great year. You know what I mean? But Baker leaves and they get rid of Baker, like that people do with Baker for some reason. They trade him off to different teams. Seems almost every other year. Then yeah, I don't see him wanting to get comfortable with another quarterback again. You know what I mean? Like that's I feel like that takes a long time to build up that relationship to a vibe as well as he did with like Baker and
Oh,
Tom and yeah.
yeah, yeah. I can see that. That's a good point.
He's not a new wide receiver, you know what I mean? It's not like he has plenty of time to learn and adjust.
True.
Um
True.
yeah, Washington is moving on. And then the game everybody was waiting on, the game that everyone thought Minnesota was just the team to be this year, including myself. I just thought, like, dude, they're like, no one expected this. It's crazy they're here. And then just before the game, I just had this feeling like Sam Darnold's had a great year. This is the point where he chokes. Like that's just the feeling I had. And yeah, my gut feeling was right. Did you watch this game at all? What did you think about this one?
I fell asleep during this game.
Yeah,
Obviously.
it was one of those games. Yeah, this was the it was a blowout, dude.
And when I woke up and I heard that the Vikings got their butts ringed, dude, like I was so disappointed because I really thought, this could be, you know, the quarterback's name again from Vikings, Sam Darnold.
Sam, yeah,
Like I really thought that this could be a Super Bowl year for him. Not winning it, but at least going. You
getting there.
know, no, he proved me to be a dumbass. on that one. So
I mean,
I'm not really disappointed. I'm not really surprised. But then again, I am kind of surprised with the ringing. Like he
and
did say
I'm not
before, you're not. I am.
dude.
Hey,
Matthew Stafford. I mean, that how much of a more of a veteran quarterback that knows what he's doing that's been in these situations before. Like we were talking about Josh Allen that's been here. I mean, Matthew Stafford is no different, dude. He's one of those dudes that can lock in and knows what needs to be done.
I mean, I can't disagree, but I honestly first I thought they weren't going to make the playoffs. To be honest with
Yeah,
you,
I mean, you had like Cooper Cup not very active this year. You know what I mean?
same with
Like,
Nakua.
yeah, like
Nakua
Naku was
wasn't very
hurt
active this
for
year.
yeah, he was hurt for a while. But boy, were they active this game, dude. 27-9. Matthew
That's
Stafford.
because their team is healthy now.
Yeah, they're healthy, dude. 19 for 27, 209 yards and two touchdowns. Kyron Williams putting up 76 yards. Tyler Higbee, 58
Yeah,
yards. Yeah,
Higby
man.
was popping off.
Putting up some plays. Puka Nakua putting up some yards, five receptions for 44 yards. Cooper Cup, his lone reception of the night was a highlight reel reception, though. Running full speed, broke the defender, jumped in midair, turned. It was a ball through behind him. So he did what he had to do, jumped up in the air, turned his entire body, came down on his back, rolled, caught it. It was definitely a great catch. Stafford hit Kyron Williams in the end zone, hit Davis Allen in the end zone. The Davis Allen both of the touchdowns were like almost wide open, but great touchdowns.
So who was it? Cup? You
Cup
said
had the
Cup hit
great
that?
catch, but
Okay.
yeah, the great turnaround catch. But yeah, he hit Kyron Williams for a pass in the end zone, and which Kyron Williams was more he had more rushing yards, but he was definitely more effective in the passing game. Three receptions for 16 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown being crucial. I mean, putting up points is huge in a playoff game, and having a running back that can not only put up points on the ground, but is a good receiver, which is why I loved having him in fantasy, is big. And then yeah, tied in Davis Allen getting in there for the touchdown. Rams moving on. Excited,
Looking
dude.
for this looking for this catch real quick. Got me stuck
Cooper
here.
Cup's catch.
Every catch from Rams receiver Cup in his. Is that it?
It should be did you find it?
Were they?
I don't remember where it was in the game.
Oh yeah, they were in Minnesota.
No, they're yeah.
Nah, I'll find it later. I can't seem to find it right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I
I
just did
think I could find a short of it, but I can't.
yeah, wild card weekend highlights. It was one of the highlights in there. I rewatched earlier because I had to refresh myself from watching the games. I caught almost all the games. It was just like by the third quarter came, dude, it was hard to watch some of them because it was like there's almost no. It got to the point to me like halfway through the third quarter, if they're down by 21 plus, and if they're marching down the field to score to make it down two scores, I'll watch if they score. But on that drive, if you can't score and you're punting the ball away and still a quarter left, but you're down, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just, yeah,
I
I'm off it. Uh,
feel you.
yeah, wild card weekend, dude. It was great games. But, but, but we move on to the divisional round. We got four games. We got two games Saturday. Yeah, two games Saturday. Saturday at 4:30 EST and 8 p.m. And then we got two games Sunday, 3 o'clock and 6:30. That's good. I'm glad it's not an 8 o'clock game Sunday night. That way I can be up and not
Okay,
be so tired watching it.
what day and what time is the Ravens and Bills game?
Okay, so let's just run through these real quick and we'll talk about them one by one. Texans and Chiefs, Saturday at 4:30. What do you think about Texans and Chiefs?
Okay, like I said before, I'm an AFC South guy from the South, baby. So I'm a Colts fan, obviously, but I love my AFC South boys. So go Houston. I hope they can get the job done against the Chiefs, but it's the Chiefs, so start telling what can happen.
Yeah, I think I got to go with the Chiefs in this one, dude. They're rested, they're healthy, they're ready. They've been game planning. Texans haven't looked the greatest this year. It's
And
I'm almost scared to look at the betting line because it's going to be the Chiefs are going to be so favored. This one's almost not even worth putting money on unless you're going to put money on the Texans. It's not. I'm not. I'm one of those people that's not opposed to putting some money on the underdogs to win a bigger pot.
and before we move on, Houston, they are out. They are out. They're without their two top receivers, obviously in Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell. Last week, whenever they played the Chargers, Tank Dell and both Stephon Diggs were there at the game. It
Mm-hmm.
was great to see Tank Dell walking around after seeing his
Yeah.
injury.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad to see him walk. He is walking around with those crutches or whatever
Yeah.
those things were. But yeah, how serious his injury was, I'm glad to see he's up and walking around. Hopefully, he can get recovered fast and get back on the field. Same with Stephon. And we all know he is getting up there in age as well. He's not old, but
Football age. Yeah.
football age is pretty. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
getting
I
there.
get. I get what
So
you're saying.
uh, it'd be interesting to see if he stays with Houston another year or if he'll go. But he's got to stay healthy. If he can't stay healthy, he might as well just hit the brakes and just call it a career. Because I mean, there ain't no point of killing your body, man. Like you're only what 30, 31 years old, maybe a little bit older.
Yeah, I'd say probably like
You're
35.
still young. You're still young in your life.
Yeah,
Old for
for
football,
sure.
young in your life. So you
Yeah.
want to keep that going
It's no
as
no
long as
different in
possible.
UFC, man. 35 is old in UFC.
Yeah.
Uh Next Saturday, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. We got Lions and Commanders. It's
The
going to be
Lions,
another one where I feel like
honestly.
everyone is just going to say the Lions got it, but we just saw the Commanders can put up a fight, dude. What do you think about the Lions and the Commanders?
I'm gonna go Lions, but my headphones dying by the way. I need to cut that out. Um,
You
I'm gonna go
good?
with the Lions, but I would like to see the Commanders win and move on. But if they do win, they need to watch out for who they're going to be playing next week or the week after that.
Yeah.
They're either going to be playing the Rams, which is a sleeper team, or they're going to be playing the powerhouses in the Eagles. So either way, they need to be ready if they
Yeah.
do win. Because if they can get past the Lions, we all know how well the Lions are playing right now. That's probably about a 30% chance going up against the Lions and beating the Lions. But man, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Well,
Jaden Daniels better eat his freaking Wheaties, man, because he's gonna need it. He's gonna need everything.
it's literally coming down the wire, and we already know Anthony's going to be like, "Oh, Lions going to just whoop them this week, boys. It's an easy game this week. We got a rookie quarterback this week, boys.
It
Gonna
really
be
ain't
an
that
easy
easy, man.
week."
It
Even
really ain't
though
that easy.
I'm gonna let the world go ahead and know this is Anthony right here. Bro, if the Lions lose Saturday, I'm probably gonna have to call off work Monday because I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna
His
be
ass ain't
so
calling off
sad.
work.
I
He ain't
said,
calling off work.
I said, bro, if they lose Saturday, you got all day Sunday to cry. You can come to work Monday.
That's funny.
Oh
He's
gosh.
always trying to get out of work. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
But I think the Lions will probably take that one. I mean, just the way they've been playing, they're playing ball, and I don't think Jaden Daniels is just ready to be in that situation just yet. Maybe he thinks he is, but I don't know that he actually is.
But think about it though. Think about it. If if the Commanders do win and the Bills move on to the Super Bowl and the Commanders move on to the Super Bowl, that's an easy sell for the Bills. First ever Super Bowl, easy.
Yeah, but that's what the Lions were just thinking. That's an easy dub, and then you know what I mean. Like if they beat if Washington beats Detroit, I feel like I'll probably take Washington. I mean, how can you not expect them to win out if they beat Detroit? You know what I mean? Like that'd be a huge game for them to win, dude.
Right.
That'd be the upset of the season, in my opinion. Then we got Sunday at 3 p.m., middle of the day, Eagles versus Rams. This game makes me nervous. What do you think about the Eagles and Rams? That's gonna be a ball game too, son.
I don't know. I got a question mark on that one. I don't know. I can't say anything bad about both teams, and I can't really say anything good enough that's gonna lead me to one side or to the other.
I feel
I'm in the
you.
middle. I'm
I
in the
got
middle on this
I
one.
gotta go to Philly just because Philly's my team. That's one of my favorite teams, obviously, is Philly. But dude, Puka Nakua was my top receiver in fantasy. I know how good he is. We talked about how good Matthew Stafford can be. He's still got Cooper Cup that no isn't as active as you'd want him to be, but he's there if you need him to be. You got Kyron Williams that just I mean, he's mad. He's mad at the earth. He stomps the hell out of the earth. I mean, he's one of those players that is just a mad runner, dude, like run angry. And but it's like you got Saquon on the other side though. You know what I mean? Like you got all these great receivers on the Rams, Puka, Cup, but then you got Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, and then you got Dallas Goddard, but you got Tyler Higbee. You know what I mean? Like I feel like these teams are this is going to be a ball game, is what I'm trying to get at. I feel like this is going to be a really good game.
Yeah, but I mean, this is what I'm gonna say. If the Rams offensive line can stay healthy enough and stay strong enough and give a nice consistent pocket for Stafford to throw in, they should have no problem.
They just needs time. Yeah. He needs time, and
Because
they need to build a way for Kyron
I
Williams to
can
make it hold.
say, even though the Eagles look tough, the defensive backs, have struggled a little bit throughout the year. And anybody who knows how to read a defense, Matthew Stafford can read a pretty good defense
Oh yeah,
from a mile away.
you're definitely talking about two all-star
So
quarterbacks.
yeah. So if the Rams can give Stafford some time to throw that ball and get to Nakua or Cup or whoever he gets open quick enough,
Yeah,
he's gonna get it there.
and I mean he's got like Robinson
Hmm.
on the Rams. He's a big playmaker too. I mean, dude, they're all. We just talked about the Philly picking up Paris Campbell. I mean, they're all pulling out any little weapons they
Also, they got
can.
Tutu Atwell.
Yeah,
I think he's a rookie this year.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, Tutu
Rams.
Atwell is good. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then lastly, that brings us to the final game of the divisional rounds: Ravens and Bills. These are just ball games. This is
This
fucking
game,
divisional football right here, dude. Like I'm
this
excited
game
about football
is
right
gonna
now.
be a ball game.
Yeah. What do you think about this game?
So first off,
Josh Allen, Lamar. We already talked about it a little
Lamar.
bit, but this is a head to head of two.
Let's give Lamar credit first. He passed up Steve Young in rushing career yards with 602 rushing yards in his career. But that is not the all time leader. The all time leader right now
is none other than Josh Allen from the Bills with 609
He's a
career
dog,
rushing yards.
bro.
So Lamar Jackson is
And
only
he's a big dude too.
and Lamar Jackson is only down 7 yards from Josh Allen.
Mm,
So this is going to be a record-breaking game right here. Who
yeah.
can win, most career yards in the season right here?
Who can put
Josh
up more
Allen or
rushing
Lamar?
in one game? It comes down to one
Yep.
game. Who can rush more? But it gives Josh Allen a 7 yard advantage, starting
Right.
off with that 7 yard
But this right
advantage.
here, Lamar being behind Josh Allen, this gives Lamar more fire to play even harder.
Like that's always
Yeah,
been me. Like I'm not letting this dude pass me in these rushing yards. Like I'm taking my
exactly.
team. If I got to run the ball, I'm running the ball. Dude, there's some. I mean, Baker's doing it too. Quarterbacks. That's one thing to good about having a quarterback that knows when to flip that switch because you see somebody like Jordan Love, dude, taking sacks when he can not be taking sacks. Like when you're 7, 8, 9 yards out behind the pocket, you can't take that sack, dude. You can't lose 15 yards on a sack. Like, get rid of that ball. But then you see some of these veteran quarterbacks that know how to just work that pocket and can turn a 5, 6, 7 yard loss into a 15, 16 yard gain, dude. Like some of these quarterbacks this past week were running like their lives and depended on it, and their jobs most certainly do. Well, maybe not their
Exactly.
jobs, but
Their jobs definitely depend
at
on it.
least their playoff hopes. Yeah. Um, yeah.
Because
Divisional
you can get
football.
fired for anything in the NFL.
Yeah.
Anything.
Divisional football, dude. I'm so excited. Anything else with the divisional football before we move on to a little college preview?
All I gotta say is that I hope the Texans beat the Chiefs. That's all I gotta say.
Upset of the year, boy.
I hope the Chiefs don't make it. They're not a Super Bowl team, and we've all seen it. I mean, come on, Chiefs fans. We've all seen it. You guys know your team is not a Super Bowl team. Let's be real.
I mean, right now
So
they are the Super Bowl team, so
that's because they just know how to finish games, man.
yeah, you're not wrong.
Like, God, the Raiders, the Broncos, the Chargers, the Panthers about beat them. Like, out of all these teams I just named, the Panthers was the worst one. Not even the Raiders, the Panthers
Yeah,
almost beat them. Like, come on, man.
not wrong.
But yeah, let's move on to college football.
All right, college football. We got Notre Dame and Indiana, hometown. Not hometown. We're not from Notre Dame, but Indiana, home state, versus Ohio State, next door neighbor. Let's bring some light to these two hometown teams right here going at it for this championship. What do you think about this?
Uh, I'm glad an Indiana team is in it. It's unfortunate it wasn't our Indiana team. It wasn't the Bloomington. It wasn't Bloomington. But there is Notre Dame. They're further above us. But congrats to them. And Ohio. I figured Ohio State would make it.
Mm-hmm.
But Texans kind of blew it there towards the end of the game. Couple unbalanced throws from Texas. A lot of a lot of good plays on that offense. A lot of miscues. It is a big game, so I kind of understand the nerves and the jitters and the noise, especially because I know college games their noise
Wild.
is like
Yeah.
crazy, like 10 times as crazy as NFL's noise is. So, but
College fans are crazy. What are you trying to say? They're
in
wild.
a
They
in
go
a in
hard.
a nice way, yeah.
Yeah,
But
they go
yeah,
hard. They go
they're
hard.
they're fucking insane.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me Ohio State went. Will they get the job done? More than likely. So I'm gonna go Ohio State beating Notre Dame, even though it hurts me saying that about my own Indiana team. But let's be real, can't bet against Ohio State. Just can't do it. So, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. I think I'll take your opposite bet. I'll take Notre Dame just because you take Ohio State. I
Ten
don't watch
bucks.
it much, but yeah,
Colin already owes me $10. So
we'll do that. So I'll pay you $10 for, or I'll bet you 10. I'll pay you. I ain't paying you
yeah,
shit
go
because I'm
ahead, pay
gonna
me
win.
$10. All right,
Hell
everybody heard
no.
you. Everybody heard you.
Hell no. I'll bet you $10. I think Notre Dame can do it. Got to go Indiana. From Indiana. I mean, out of all the states in the United States, out of all the colleges that are in this thing,
All right. Listen,
you comes down to Indiana, Ohio. I mean, that's a win-win for our area around here anyway.
here's somewhat of a win-win for us. So, if Notre Dame wins, I will work the next. I'll work 10 hours of overtime in the next 2 weeks.
You're making bets about work on here. Hey, I'll take some extra money on my paycheck for
That's a win-win, man. I take extra money, you get the job done quicker. So what we gonna do?
Yeah.
Uh,
Um, I don't know. But yeah, we'll take that bet. We'll do the $10 bet.
all right.
I'll take Notre Dame. I don't know shit about college football, obviously, but it's football and I like watching it and how hyped these players get and how hyped their fans get. And not only that, I'm a huge advocate for when it comes to the UFC, I'm deep into that shit. I love the Ultimate Fighter. I love Dana White's Contender Series. I love Cage Warriors and LFA and you know what I mean, all these smaller promotions as to where we see the talent come from in the UFC. And it's no different with college football. I mean, it's the same mindset. You watch college football that way you know who's coming into the NFL. I mean, that's our feeder. You know what I mean? That's the
Mm-hmm.
NFL's feeder. That's where they get people from. So college football, dude, it's where they get their talent from. It's definitely it can't be any less interesting than NFL if that's where the NFL players come from. You know what I mean? Like it's just as dynamic, if not more, because these players are young, they're hungry, they're wanting that contract, just like the Dana White's Contender Series. Like you know that scout sitting out there in them stands watching you, or on that sideline, or in that box. You know, I mean, you know, there's someone watching you, and if you put on a great performance, the more teams are that are going to want you. So,
Yeah, but it's a lot different. Like there's
yeah,
some players that don't understand. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna go into the NFL. I'm gonna tear it up. I'm gonna get contract. I'm gonna get money. And then those are the guys that go in there into the NFL and they do absolutely garbage. Like they don't they get a big contract, but then again, they play horrible their rookie year and they're like, okay, cool, we'll see how you
chill.
do next season.
Yeah,
And then you go next season, they play the same, they're like crap. That's when they get cut.
yeah.
That's because they had too big of an ego. They didn't know what they were doing.
You
Yeah, they're
got there
playing
thinking,
football.
yeah, you got there thinking you were good enough. No, you get there as an entry position, and you got to get there and start learning and growing.
You
Like
got to
you're,
start working for your
yeah,
position. You don't
exactly.
just get handed your position like you do in college.
Yep.
Like whenever you become a senior, you get handed that first string
Yeah,
spot because it's
you don't
your
become a
senior year.
starter. Yeah,
So,
gotcha.
like you got to bust your ass. You got
Yep.
to be there every day on practice. You gotta do more outside of football. Like you gotta
ESPN's on you in a whole different way
work.
when you're in the NFL.
You got to go to work. You're not just gonna go and play football and make that money by sitting on your ass a whole entire week and then go play football again. No, hell no.
Yeah.
You got practices, you got events.
Obligations. Yeah.
Exactly. Like you
Walkthroughs.
gotta bust your ass and work to get that position.
Yep. Absolutely.
And that's where your money comes from.
Yep. All right, dude. That's our pick. That's our bet.
Uh did you already tell them when that game is?
Monday. You said Monday, right? I did
Yeah,
not.
January 20th, Monday
Monday.
at 7:30. Yep.
Yep. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and on Saturday we got two college. We got two NFL games also Saturday. UFC 311, Islam Makhachev versus Arman Sarukian, and Merab Dvalishvili versus Umar Nurmagomedov. It's going to be a hell of a pay-per-view, dude. Could be the first time you got two family champions. I think it'd be the first time, but you're going to have Khabib back to back. Khabib will be out there in Umar's corner. Hopefully, Umar can get that dub for the Nurmagomedov family, turn around, go in the back, and then Khabib will be right back out there for the co-main and main event for Islam's corner. So we'll be seeing a lot of Khabib and the Dagestani family. UFC 311 is going to be insane. We got Roynato Moicano. We got Peyton Talbot, dude. We got Jamal Hill and Yuri Prohaska, dude. We got some banger fights on this Saturday. We got some banger football on Saturday, some banger football on Sunday, and some banger football on Monday. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. All impact, no filter. And yeah, you got anything else for him, Steven?
Just, the typical like, subscribe, follow us. We need these. You guys are awesome. Just keep doing what you're doing. You guys are awesome. Don't be afraid to leave comments down below on your predictions for the next football round is, and for the UFC fights. And we'll try and get to them as best we can. We are busy. We got full-time jobs too, so bear with us here.
Busting out content and cabinets, boys.
Yeah. So we are tired. We are busy. We'll try and get to your comments as soon as possible. If you guys do leave any comments, we love y'all. And thank you for everything. Keep watching. We got a lot more to come to you.
Yep. Check us out. Facebook, YouTube. We're going to start uploading everything to Facebook. You got everything on YouTube. You got everything on Spotify. All of those at All Impact No Filter Podcast. Check out Zach Die 818 Gaming on Twitch. Check out Whip Boy on Twitch. We will have another UFC podcast coming for you Sunday right after the UFC 311. We'll do a little recap on what happened there. And yeah, till next time, guys. Peace.
Later.
Okay. Yeah. They think they got it locked, well I think I got it picked. 24/7, all I ever drop is hits. Never clocking out, I'm forever on my shift. I'ma fall till I fall, till they put me in my crib. They think they got it locked, well I think I got it picked. 24/7, all I ever drop is hits. Never clocking out, I'm forever on my shift. I'ma ball till I fall, till they put me in my crib. It's that big body whipping piece of shit from out the graveyard. You never had a shot, even with the million AR and a million A&R. There to represent you. This life is a battle, turn my pencil to my pistol. I turn my issues into missiles, and there will be no misuse. I promise that they won't miss you. I'm doing mental jujitsu behind presidential tent inside the Lincoln Continental. I'm still with an ill intent till they kill me or put it into the serial killing, criminal murdering instrumentals. If my music doesn't fit you, then fuck you. I make shit for real people and they pick. They got it locked, well I think I got it picked. 24/7, all I ever drop is hits. Never clocking out, I'm forever on my shift. I'ma fall till I fall, till they put me in my crib. They think they got it locked, well I think I got it picked. 24/7, all I ever drop is hits. Never clocking out, I'm forever on my shift. I'ma ball till I fall, till they put me in my crib.
We gotta believe, we gotta be mentally strong. When we tired, that's when we gotta put our fundamentals together. That's when we gotta be more focused. When we tired, that should give you more effort. Be like, I'm gonna beat his ass. Everybody's great when they're not tired. The champions is when they tired, that's when the real champions come out. That's when that real dog come out. Cause if you go piss like a puppy, stand